Michigan is kind of a weird place, okay? Especially when this school shooting happened. When was that? Yeah, that wasn't even that long ago. Yeah, November 30th there. It didn't take long for this to become a completely political disaster, okay? I'm not talking about the event itself. The charge that kid, Ethan Crumbley, fuck him, okay? Throw him away for the rest of his life, okay? That's totally fine. That's totally acceptable. He's killed 4 people and he shot up a bunch of other people as well. So nothing wrong with going after him. He did it. Okay, fine. Throw the book at him. But his parents being charged, this is a little bit fucked, okay? So, yeah, the Daily Mail here, just have them pulled up for reference. And we're going to go through their article because they have a very nice summation of the events. And the parents right now, James and Jennifer, are being charged because of reasons? Okay, like listen to the way that this is formed here, especially the headline. Okay, so father of Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumbley mouths "I love you" to his wife and fights back tears in court as judge delays probable cause hearing over staggering amount of prosecution evidence. Okay, that's the only part that I care about. Staggering amount of prosecution evidence. Okay, not just like evidence in its totality, like okay, for the charges that they are facing. Okay, negligent manslaughter, negligent homicide, involuntary manslaughter. I'm getting things mixed up here, but that's what they're both facing, which seems totally fucked, okay? And, oh yes, a staggering amount of prosecution evidence, okay? I'm watching another trial right now, and I'd love to report on it, but there's nothing to report, because literally today, okay, and no, I give you guys little mini updates and the different videos that I've been doing over the past couple of days, but today, literally, it was the lead prosecutor, okay, at least as best as we know, Matthew Frank, who was also a part of the prosecution team that went up against Derek Chauvin and the George Floyd debacle, whatever. Okay, he was up there. He was just reciting different policies that really didn't have anything to do with Kim Potter shooting Dante Wright. So it's like, why did you waste everybody's day on a witness and a half? Like, he hasn't even finished. I think he might have. Okay, yeah, right at the end of the day, he finished his direct questioning of the use of force expert and didn't pull a fucking thing out of it. And again, the court adjourned early for the day. Like, they don't give a shit about anybody's time, but we're still on pace to meet our deadline of Christmas Eve. This trial is ponderous, and I have no idea when the prosecution is really going to rest, because they just read out of a policy book and they just, I don't know, put up an old slideshow of not even the taser that Kim Potter was carrying that day. It was fucking weird, and it took, yeah, like I said, they wrapped up one expert witness, fact witness, first thing in the morning, who added nothing to the case and put everybody to sleep. And then right after lunch, from 1:45 onward, okay, until, when did they stop? Yeah, just about 4:30. They focused in on their use of force expert and didn't do anything, okay? And this is one of those things where the prosecution has brought over 1,000 exhibits for evidence, okay? And this is what I'm seeing here, okay? Because I'm watching that trial at the same time. And then I see the staggering amount of prosecution evidence, and that's what I'm thinking. A whole bunch of shit to make it look like, okay, if we put this to trial, it's like, look at all the stuff we have. We have hand trucks full of those banker boxes full of evidence that, oh, these parents had so much to do with the kid who took a gun to school and shot the fucking place up. Oh, okay, cool. Do you have any laws to back that up? Do you have anything like, oh, okay, the father put the gun in the kid's backpack when they went to the meeting at the school? And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So at the same time that the parents are getting charged with this, are any of the school officials being charged? Fuck no, of course not. Because they were never going to do that to begin with, because once again, the school is just a weapon for the indoctrination camp that has been set up by the fucking government, and especially from the top down to Michigan, old Gretchen Whitmer, you know a goddamn right. She's just another one of those perpetuators of from the cradle to the grave, you are owned by the government. Well, let's see how this is progressing and why these people are just going to be held in captivity because they can't afford the preposterously large bail, and they're going to be held until trial, until I see right there, February 8th. So, God, this is so fucked, okay? They didn't do anything, okay? Unless some of this fantastical evidence that the prosecution has really provides anything. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna find, okay? The parents of accused Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumbley shared an intimate moment during Tuesday's brief probable cause hearing, which saw the father fight back tears and repeatedly mouthing, "I love you" to his shackled wife. Yeah, that's sad, and it's like they shouldn't be in this fucking situation. They already have a kid that they need to properly process, is going to be spending the rest of his life behind prison bars, who, funnily enough, okay, like, I don't know if they're going to get to this, like, I almost did an update on this story yesterday. I seen that because Ethan's in big boy jail. He's being held right there until his trial commences, which not too sure when that's going to be happening, but that should be quick and fucking easy. You should be, opening arguments in the morning and then just be convicted in the afternoon, because it seems pretty cut and dry. But yeah, no, he's being moved back to a juvenile detention center where he can continue his schooling, because that's important. Ugh. The hearing, which was adjourned until next month, marked the first time James and Jennifer Crumbley appeared before a judge in Rochester Hills County Court since their arraignment in early December. So yeah, they're just going to be in jail, just being held on bail until the judge just gets around to them. At which time they pleaded not guilty to involuntary manslaughter counts. The hearing lasted about 20 minutes and concluded while Judge Julie Nicholson granted a request by prosecutors and defense lawyers to postpone until February 8th a key preliminary hearing that would determine whether the Crumbleys will face a trial. They shouldn't. What the fuck could possibly be there? The preliminary exam originally was scheduled for December 22nd, so next week. Prosecutor, Karen McDonald. Yeah, this cunt who's on a fucking crusade. I wonder if she's running for anything in 2022. That would be interesting. Said she needs more time to collect. Wait, so she doesn't even have all the evidence? She just thinks that she has a staggering amount and I need to go out there and fish for more of it? Okay. A staggering amount of evidence for investigators to share with the defense. Oh, okay, cool. Because we haven't seen in the rest of these high-profile, or at least televised trials, that prosecutors just keep dropping off more evidence to the defense in the wee hours of the morning. And you guys can just go over this. We have more stills, we have more video that just magically show up from the FBI, Kyle Rittenhouse, that you guys can just go over and, see how much a pinch and zoom evidence will be in this potential trial as well. We have police narratives. How's that evidence? We have digital evidence. Okay, we have video evidence of the kid shooting or what? Okay. We have viewed a lot of it, certainly enough to establish charges here. Oh, okay, cool. Do you want to share that? No? Oh, okay. But there's also a lot of investigation that needs to be done. Yeah, like probably figuring out if any of that's relevant. That would be important. The Crumbleys' defense attorneys joined in the request. They also signaled their intent to file a motion within the week seeking a reduced bond for their clients who are currently being held on a bond of $500,000 each, and even 10% of that would be $100,000, and these people don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Around 1:15 p.m. on Tuesday, James Crumbley was led into Judge Nicholson's courtroom in handcuffs and shackles, followed by his wife, Jennifer, 43. Again, they haven't shot anybody, they haven't assaulted anybody, but they're being handcuffed and shackled. Why exactly? They sat together at the defense table, separated by their two attorneys, Shannon Smith and Mariel Lehman. Sorry, my mistake. Judge Nicholson reminded the defendants that they were entitled to be represented by two different attorneys and asked Smith and Lehman to alert the court should any conflict of interest arise. They're married. Whatever. Oakland County District Attorney Karen McDonald addressed the court first, briefly summing up the case and describing the scope of the evidence. This case is unprecedented in Oakland County. It is in the entire world. You're just trying to blame people, and you're just trying to set up the the pipeline of just birth and then just taking away kids and throw them in the public indoctrination camps. So there's no more obvious of a fucking example happening here, okay? They're just trying to encroach one step at a time. Yeah, okay, this was a school shooter. Okay, so what happened? Well, no, you can just disregard that 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 30 to 40 weeks a year that kids spend in fucking school. No, clearly it's what happens outside of school that just completely and utterly fucks their mind. Especially if you've been seeing the curriculum in the different school board hearings that have been better attended to lately. No, that has far, far more play than what they're learning in school about self-hatred. just because you're simply white or you simply have been in the country for an indeterminate amount of time because racism and different other self-loathing shit that these kids get taught. No, that has nothing to do with it, okay? And it's not like they didn't know, but once again, is the school getting charged in any of this? Not right now. Subject to change, I suppose. McDonald said her office has thus far turned over 500 pages of discovery to the defense. What could you possibly know? It said that there were additional 40 gigabytes of reports. Of reports? Listen, a fucking basic bitch Word document of a couple thousand words is not but a couple of kilobytes, and then kilobytes make up megabytes that make up gigabytes. So what could you possibly fucking know? Precluding to the parents themselves, okay? This is obviously just another grab bag of evidence of different tangentially related reports, different documents that they could be looking for, probably the user's manual for the fucking telephones that the mother and the kid were using to text back and forth. Like, what the fuck could you possibly have? Witness statements and footage from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office pending review. The McDonald's made the request to delay the preliminary exam until February, saying that the hearing would involve 15 to 20 witnesses and last 3 to 5 days. That's a lot of people and not a lot of time in relativity because, yeah, we've probably, in the Kim Potter trial, I think there's been like 10 witnesses. Today was the completion of day 5 of actual testimony and trial. And the defense hasn't even brought anybody out yet. And we don't even know if the prosecution has rested their case yet. Don't know. Maybe they will by the end of the week. But again, that's ponderous. And they also have a plethora of different evidence that's out there, so I'm thinking that's exactly what's happening on this one. But I'll be watching this trial because I'm very interested, and if you get the defense's half of this argument, and it starts to really look like that now, doesn't it? Oxford school officials accused of destroying shooting evidence, says one of the defendant's lawyers. Yeah. Okay, so again, you wonder why the school hasn't been charged with any of this shit. Start to become a little bit more clear now, doesn't it? School officials at Oxford High School in Michigan were told to preserve social media pages and other evidence that were allegedly being destroyed or deleted. Not only did defendants fail to take necessary steps to preserve the evidence, they willfully destructed the evidence by deleting the web pages and social media accounts. Attorney Nora Hanna wrote in the filing on Friday, according to the Detroit News, plaintiffs cannot continue to be blindsided by the defendants by having to search for what evidence is being destroyed or altered. And is among several lawyers who are representing 2 survivors who have filed a $100 million lawsuit against Oxford High School, located in an Oakland high school. So this is a civil case, okay? So, but this could still be interesting because if a bunch of these social media accounts and these other potentially relevant postings online are getting deleted or getting scrubbed, let's see what the prosecution has. I'd really like to know about this. U.S. District Judge Terrence Burr granted the request to preserve the records, ordering Oxford High School officials, including Superintendent Timothy Thorne and high school principal Stephen Wolf, to preserve electronically stored records. Okay, cool. So did they just turn them over to the district attorneys and then not want to help out because they're the ones being sued in this? That's interesting. Okay, Hannah represents 2 sisters, 17-year-old Riley Franz and 14-year-old Bella Franz, who attended Oxford High School. Another lawyer, Jeffrey Feger, fielded 2 lawsuits on behalf of the parents, Jeffrey and Brandy Franz. Okay, plaintiffs' attorneys are also seeking several companies and agencies such as Verizon's AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, the FBI, and the Department of Justice and the Oakland County Sheriff's Office to preserve any records that have related to the shooting. Okay, attorneys asked to save the posts on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, hashtags Oxford Strong, Oxford School Shooting, and Oxford Shooting. Okay. Any other hashtags that you'd like preserved? That's weird. Timothy J. Mullins, an attorney for the Oxford School District, wrote that the lawsuits are bombastic stunt masked as legal filings. Oh, okay, cool. Was he also reporting on the criminal charges against the parents of Ethan Crumbley that do a disservice to the people of Oxford and the people of Michigan? Well, to be fair, the kids were also survivors of the school shooting, but whatever. The latest false allegations are baseless, reckless, and totally irresponsible, Mullen said. Feger has named the wrong person in his sloppy legal findings and is refusing to retract his statements and dismiss him immediately, which is unconscionable. No, you sue the schools because they're at least as much responsible as the parents are. Listen, if you're going to be charging the fucking parents, which they seem to be gung-ho about, you should be holding these fucking school officials equally as responsible because they knew more about the fucking situation. Okay? Talk to the sheriff's department, okay? And they knew exactly what the hell was going on at the same time, too, because they said they would have intervened if somebody from the school would have just fucking let them know, but they didn't. They didn't. And we're all just supposed to make that disappear? Well, I guess we'll have to wait for the arraignment hearing to see if this is going to end up going to trial, because this just seems like such a disservice to law and justice. But again, if there's something that's there that showed that these parents actively supported and helped out their kid carry out a school shooting, which I find very, very fucking unlikely, I reserve my right to be wrong, but I don't really think so. But with that said, guys, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.